All right, people, I know there's not a lot of us here, but let's get loud, let's get Western, let's get Montana Western. It's the short round. We're going to start things out with the bareback ride, and out first is Ethan Frazier, and he's got Fun Hater of the Red Eye Rodeo Company. I don't know what this horse did to earn this name, but Kale, I guess I don't really want to know.
That's right, folks. We get every rodeo started with a little bit of excitement. The bareback riding coming down in front of the buck and shoots. We're going to get things started off with Ethan Frazier, Montana State University cowboy.
A big thank you to everyone helping down there on the rough stock shoots. We got Sylvan Lacrosse, Mr. Lane Yeager, Luke Murphy. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I have no idea either. That boy, Ethan.
Ethan doing all he can to send his feet.
This is a nice horse.
Took a little while to get out of there, but that's going to be a qualified ride for Ethan Frazier from Montana State University. Have a score coming up for him.
Good horse of the Red Eye Rodeo Company. Kale Berg and Quentin McCauley coming in there to get Ethan on the ground, safe and sound. Judd.
That's going to be a 61 for Ethan Frazier, 61.
Up next, we got Judd Applegate. He's drawn the Red Eye horse Green Bay. Kale, are you a Packers fan? Don't tell me you're a Packers fan. Skol, baby. Let's go Vikings.
Go Vikings.
Let's go, Judd. That a boy, Judd.
Judd Applegate doing everything he can to stay in the middle, but unfortunately going to come off a little early. That's going to be a no score for Judd Applegate. But give him a hand as he comes out of here. That stuff's not easy.
Just going down the line. Up next, we got Cruz Mcnulty on Kale's Revenge. Jeez, Kale, who named all these horses? Did your wife name these things? Tristan Hansen, Western alumni, helping his buddy Cruz get his horse set just right. Just won the Ram Finals in Greeley, Colorado. We're proud of you, Tristan.
Tristan Hansen helping Cruz out, just making sure this horse is going to be standing up straight. Give both parties an equal opportunity at putting on a show for us today.
That a boy, Poot. Poot Hansen. That boy, Cruz.
Yeah.
Setting his feet. Go to him. Whoa!
Way to go, Adam. That's going to be a qualified ride for Cruz Mcnulty, Miles City Community College Cowboy. Pickup man, help him get down safe. It's easier in the middle of him, Cruz. That's a hell of a bind.
Get up, Cruz. Oh, he's on the right side.
That's going to be a score of 69 for Cruz Mcnulty, 69 for the Miles City Cowboys. He gets down to the ground.
Cruising his way to the top. Up next, we got Sterling Rogers on Triple Respect. Another big thank you to Mike Nauman and Jim Cutler, our PRCA judges for the weekend. Thanks, fellas, for being here. We appreciate having you. Sterling Rogers, the Northwest College Cowboy, coached by Dell and Becky Nose. Let's go, Sterling. That a boy.
Sterling managed to stay on for the whistle, but unfortunately, we've got some laundry on the field. Sterling failed to mark that horse out as he was coming out of the gate. That's going to be a no score for Sterling.
Up next, we got Bruin Bradshaw, Mr. Honky Tonk of the Red Eye Rodeo Company. This bareback rider is also from Northwest College. Bruin getting everything set just right. Let's go, Bruin. Get your roughy face on.
Bruin Bradshaw trying to put on a spur ride for us. That's going to be a qualified ride for the Northwest College Cowboy. That's going to be a 46 for Bruin Bradshaw. 46 points. Bruin Bradshaw, Northwest College.
Next out, we got Colten Steen on Suki Stackhouse. The Red Eye horse has been around a long time. A good horse of the Red Eye Rodeo Company, Suki Stackhouse. Colten Steen coming to us from Miles City, Montana. Off a little early for Colten. Good looking white horse of the Red Eye Rodeo Company, Suki Stackhouse. Been around here a hot minute.
And our last bareback rider for the short round today, Mr. Brody Smith from the University of Montana Western. Spurring bareback horses by day, bartending by night. Brody's senior year, he's going to put on a bronc ride.
Brody Smith has drawn the horse high line. Senior cowboy coming from Idaho. I believe he's a business major. Brody Smith. Coached by Cody Leahy, the University of Montana Western coach. Let's go, Brody. Brody with the big nod. Center feet. Oh.
Yeah, way to do it.
That boy, Brody. Way to pull yourself back into it.
Brody Smith fighting his way back to the middle. That's a qualified ride. Score coming up quick. If you're watching the live stream at umwbulldogs.com/watch, you'll see the Wayland Tire replay cam. You'll see Brody make a great recovery, get back in the middle of that bucking horse. That's going to be a 68 for Brody Smith. 68 points for Brody Smith, the University of Montana Western. Well, as our pickup men get the arena cleared, we're going to finish things up at the buck and shoots for right now. We'll have some bronc riding coming up a little later. But right now, let's move on down to the timed event side of things. If you look towards the rope and shoots, we're going to start some steer wrestling right now. And first up, from the University of Montana Western, Garrett Yeager, coming back from yesterday with a 15 seconds flat. Going to be our first bulldogger for the day. Taking a run at some of that average money.
Garrett Yeager, the University of Montana Western cowboy. He's a 15 flat in the long go.
That steer zig when Garrett should have zagged. That's going to be a no time for Garrett Yeager. No time for the Bulldog. Up next, we've got Peyton Wolstenholme, Northwest College Cowboy. Also come back with a 15 flat from the long go yesterday. We're going to see what he can get done here. That's going to be a 5-2 for Peyton. 5-2 for the Northwest College Cowboy. That's a 20.2 for Peyton in the average. Sitting in first place right now. Up next, we've got We've got Bruin Bradshaw, also Northwest College Cowboy. He's coming back from the long go with a 10-2. Working both ends of the arena right now. Bruin Bradshaw getting ready to go here. Gets him stopped and thrown down. That's going to be a 7 flat for Bruin Bradshaw, 7 flat. Giving him a 17-2 on 2. 17-2 in the average for Bruin Bradshaw. Bryce Harrison coming at you next. The Bulldogs coming back from the first round with a 14-9.
Bryce Harrison, the University of Montana Western Cowboy, looking good.
That's going to be a 7-7 for Bryce Harrison, 7-7. Giving him a 22-6 on 2. Wesley Parker, another Bulldog, coming up next. He's got a 7-8 from the first round. Wesley just making sure he's got a hazer out there.
Coach Cody Leahy in the box with Wesley, getting everything set just right. I believe Wesley is riding Coach Leahy's old Bulldog and horse, Buck. Many-time horse in this arena.
Cody, one of the few coaches today not wearing muck boots.
That a bull.
Oh, Wesley started a good run, was about to get down on that steer. Came down a little in front of him. That's going to be a no time for Wesley Parker, no time. Up next, we've got Caleb Berquist. Bobcats coming back with a 14-5 from the first round.
Caleb Berquist, a Montana State University Cowboy, coached by Andy Bowlitch.
Put on a good slide in the mud, but unfortunately comes up with nothing but a handful of dirt. That's going to be a no time for Caleb Berquist, no time. Colby Curran, another Bobcat's going to be up next. He's got a 6-7 from the first round. See what he can do here. After Colby, we're going to see yet another Bobcat, Garrett Duncan. Colby Curran getting down on one. Yeah. That's going to be a 6-2 for Colby Curran. 6-2 for the Bobcat. Giving him a 12-9 on 2. Colby's going to be sitting first in the average as it goes right now with that 12-2. But up next, we've got Garrett Duncan, also a Bobcat, coming back with a 6-2 from the first round. Going to see what he can get done here. Garrett Duncan doing some dance moves to get his boots back on. That's going to be a no time for Garrett Duncan. But let's give a hand for that guy. That's the second steer that guy's ever tried to throw. And he came back in the short round. That's something to be impressed by. If you're not, well, hell, I am. Coming up next, we've got Clay Johnson, another Bobcat, come back with a 5-5 from the first round.
Assistant coach Trevor Sunvision helping his rodeo athlete get things set just right.
Clay Johnson getting it done right in front of the buck and shoots. That's going to be a 4-2 for Clay Johnson, 4-2. With that 5-5 from the first round, that's going to give him a 9-7 on 2, putting him first spot in the short or in the average as it stands right now. But we've still got another couple Bulldoggers coming up next. We've got Jake Nelson, another Bobcat, also with a 5-5 from the first round. After that, Logan Beatty sitting in the top spot right now from the first round with a 5 flat. He'll be clean things up for the steer wrestling in this short go. Jake Nelson with the fast time of a 4-7, 4-7 for the Bobcat. Going to give him a 10-2, putting him second place in the average, behind only Clay Johnson at this point. And last but not least, Logan Beatty coming back in the top spot with a 5 flat from the first round. Bobcat's going to clean things up for the steer wrestling before we move on to the goat tying. Logan just making sure that steer's doing like we all should and looking forward. Logan Beatty taking a little bit of a tumble, coming down in front of that steer. That's going to be a no time for Logan Beatty, no time. Unofficially, we've got Clay Johnson coming back as first in the average with Jake Nelson in second and Colby Curran in third place. We'll have some official tallies coming up later, but for right now, we've got some goat tying coming up. Jane Keeley going to be our first goat tire of the day, coming to us from Montana State Northern. She's going to be followed by Brianna Jenkins and Chantel Brewer. Jane Keeley getting ready to get us a time here. Fast hands, that's going to be a 9-1 for Jane Keeley, 9-1. Giving her a 17-8 in the average. Up next, we've got Brianna Jenkins coming to us from the University of Montana Western right here in Dillon. Thank you to TRE Elgin. I didn't see who the other volunteer was, but thank you for keeping them goats tied up. Although this event might be more exciting if they were loose. Brianna Jenkins getting ready to go. Fast hands for the Bulldog. Oh, but the goat stands up. Unfortunately, that's going to be a no time. No time, Brianna Jenkins. Up next, we've got Chantel Brewer. Bobcats come back with an 8-7 from the first round. She's going to be followed by Haley Garrison and Casey Rogers. That's going to be a 9-2 for Chantel Brewer, 9-2. Giving her a 17-9 in the average. 17-9. She's tied with Jane Keeley right now. Up next, we've got Haley Garrison coming to us from the Bobcats. She had an 8-6 in the first round. I talked to Haley before this round, and she said that she really wants to win. Well, she can't play foosball, but she can damn sure tie a goat. Haley Garrison with a 7-5. 7-5 for Haley Garrison. That's gave her a 16-1. 16-1 for Haley Garrison, putting her first place in the average as it stands right now. Coming up next, we've got Casey Rogers from Montana Western coming back with an 8-5 from the first round. That's going to be a time of 8-7 for Casey Rogers, 8-7 for the Bulldog, giving her a 17-2 in the average. That 17-2 is going to put Casey second in the average, right behind Haley Garrison. Coming up next, giving a run for their money is going to be Savannah Bowlitch, coming to us from the Bobcats with an 8-5 from the first round. That goat didn't like laying down in the mud any more than we would. Unfortunately, the goat gets up. That's going to be a no time for Savannah, no time. Up next, we've got Leighton Byer from Montana Western. Leighton put up an 8-2 in the first round. Leighton Byer is going to get flagged off. That's going to be a no time for the Bulldog, no time. Lindsay Pulsifer coming to us from the Bobcats. Lindsay put up an 8-1 in the first round. Lindy's going to be taking a run at Haley Garrison, 16-1 for the top average spot. That's going to be a 9-6 for Lindsay Pulsifer, 9-6. Giving her a 17-7 on 2, putting her in third place in the average. J.C. Kearns coming up next, another Bobcat, also with an 8-1 from the first round. J.C. Kearns getting ready to put a run. Long as that goat stays tied, that's going to be an 8-8 for J.C. Curran, 8-8. Giving her a 16-9 in the average. Putting her second just behind Haley Garrison with a 16-1. But last but not least, we've got one of Montana's favorite, Paige Rasmussen, coming to us from the Bobcats. A full second ahead of the next fastest time from the first round, a 7-1 from the first round for Paige Rasmussen. Fast hands, a 7-4 for Paige Rasmussen, 7-4. That's going to be a 14-5 for Paige Rasmussen, and that's going to put her in the lead, the top spot in the average over 2 rounds. 14-5 for Paige Rasmussen on 2. Well, no need to change seats for a better view, folks. We're staying down on that end of the arena. We're moving right on down to the team roping. First team going to be Jared Whitman and Tegan Leno. Coming to us from the Bobcats.
They were 15-6 in the long round. Getting some twine on the bovine. Good run, fellas. It's going to be an 8 flat for those Cowboys, an 8 flat. Puts them at 23-6 for the average. Up next, we got J.C. Curran and Colby Curran, another Montana State University team. Brother and sister team coming from Oregon, rodeoing from Montana State University. They were 15-4 in the long round. What? Looking good for the brother and sister team. What was it? 10-8 plus 5. It's 10-8 plus 5. Puts them at 31-2 in the average, 31-2. Up next, we got Gracie Spear and Cameron Wilbanks, a Northwest College team. Gracie and Cameron were 15-2 in the long round. Having a little trouble out there for that team. It's going to be in no time. For the Northwest College Rodeo team. Up next, we got Clay Johnson and McLean Cathy. Coming to us from Montana State University. They were 14-5 in the long round. Yeah.
Reaches out there but can't quite get her tied off. That's going to be in no time for Clay Johnson and McLean Cathy. Up next, we've got McKenna Shower and Lincoln Urama putting up a 14 flat from the first round. Northern team's going to see what they can do here. Steers are really taking to the wet ground today. They're running fast. You're going to want to make sure that you have your cactus rope tied to your saddle. But, buyers beware. Cactus ropes only tie off to cactus saddle. McKenna Shower, Lincoln Urama getting up, getting ready. That's going to be a clean run. And an 8-7 for McKenna and Lincoln. 8-7. Giving them a 22-7 in the average. Putting them in the first spot. But we've still got a couple more teams and a lot of roping left to do. Jake Faulkner and Cody Faulkner coming up next to us from the Bobcats. They've got a 13-5 from the first round. Idaho brothers getting back into the box. Ropes him a little deep and unfortunately picks up a front leg. Has to let go of the rope. That's going to be in no time for Jake and Cody Faulkner. No time.
Up next is my personal favorite team of the night, Rope 3 Irons Alonzo Skunk Cap. The rope of sensations from the Crow and Blackfeet Nation. Let's go, fellas. A little tough luck for that team. A little tough luck. It's going to be in no time. Where we at now? Up next, we got Brody Smith and Jake Serena, the University of Montana Western Cowboys, coming in with a 10-6 from the Longo. Couple of seniors rodeoing for Coach Cody Leahy. Looking good for the University of Montana Western team. It's going to be an 8-1. That a boy, fellas. Gives them an 18-7 in the average and number one team. Up next, we got Ashley Koenig and Albert Koenig from Montana State University. They're coming in with a 9-2 from the Longo. Looking good from the Koenig siblings. Gives them an 8-8. They have an 18 flat in the average, and they're now sitting number one in the average. Up next, we got Garrett Duncan and Colten Fisher to finish out the team roping. Then we're going to head on down to the rough stock and do a little bronc riding. Garrett and Colten came into the short round with a 6-8, the Montana State University team. Took his time, got things just right. Ooh. Bay's even a little excited. Gives them a 7-7 in the short round, a 7-7, and a 14-5, and number one in the average. Nice job, fellas.
We're going to take a quick break from the time event side of things. Move on down to the bucking show to watch some bronc stomping.
First out in the saddle bronc grind, we got Clancy Glenn from Montana State University. He's got the horse Double Respect of the Red Eye Rodeo Company. Another good horse, the Red Eye Rodeo Company. He's been around a long, long time. Clancy Glenn, the Montana State University Cowboy. Getting things set just right.
Clancy Glenn's safety's up just a little early. That's going to be a no score for Clancy. No score.
Up next, we got the Northwest College Cowboy Cole Biggers on Rank Sister.
Tanner Hollenbeck helping Cole get ready. If you're watching the live feed put on by Armex Sports, you'll see Tanner Hollenbeck helping Cole get ready. Not Tanner's first time on camera. Check out his own.
Cole Biggers and Rank Sister. Woo! Rank Sister was ranked. She earned her name tonight. It's down a little early for the Northwest Cowboy. Up next, we got Judd Applegate on Painted Trap, a Montana State University Cowboy.
Judd Applegate getting ready. Tanner Hollenbeck once again helping on the head side. Former University of Great Falls graduate. Not sure why he's here, but we're glad that he is. Judd Applegate getting ready to nod his head.
Good horse of the Red Eye Rodeo Company, Painted Trap. Nice job, Kale. Where are we at? 4, right? Up next, we got Cody Faulkner, and he's drawn the horse. Yeah, Woggins? We're going to go with Woggins. Oh, sorry. Cody Faulkner, the Montana State University Cowboy. Getting things set just right. Getting under that bronc rein. That a boy. Go to him. Oh. Another good bucker of the Red Eye Rodeo Company. This is this kid's 4th bucking horse of the weekend. He's had a long weekend already. We got Philip Rising Sun, and he's on the horse of Deer Lodge. But that's all right. He's a tough cowboy. He can handle it. He's going to look good on Deer Lodge. Down a little early for Philip Rising Sun. Up next, we have Keelan Spotted from Dawson Community College, and he's got the horse Waboom, the Red Eye Rodeo Co.
No, Will, you said it wrong.
How's that?
Waboom! It's anybody's game in the round today. Keelan Spotted getting ready to get it done. Dawson Community College Cowboy.
It's going to be no score for Keelan. Up next, we have Bran Morgan. If you're looking for a buck rein and or a pretty dang cool hat, talk to Bran Morgan, businessman, Bran Morgan. That a boy, Bran. Good mark out. Looking, started a good ride and hung a stirrup. That's all right, Brand. You started a good ride. Heck of a mark out. That a boy, Brand. No. Up next, we got Nolan Burrell, the University of Montana Western Cowboy, hometown cowboy, and he's got the horse Impossible Dreams. Not possible, Cole. Impossible. Poot Hansen helping Nolan Burrell get his bronc center right. Let's go, Nolan. Get on your aim. Lift. A 10 out of 10 on the dismount, and a 10 out of 10 on the bucking horse. Good horse, Kale. We're going to T-Turk. Tyler Turco, University of Montana Cowboy. He's got the horse Iceberg. Another good red-eye rodeo horse that's been around a while. Iceberg.
Grizz Cowboy, Tyler Turco getting ready to nod his head.
Good mark out, T-Turk. Going to him. hung a stirrup a little bit. Came off a little early. It's going to be no score for Tyler Turco. Up next, we got Cody Weeks, the Northwest College Cowboy. He's got the horse lounging around of the Red Eye Rodeo Company. Cody Weeks, the Northwest College Cowboy. That a boy, Cody. Get back! Get back! Get back! Finishing the ride strong. That a boy, Cody. Scores coming in for Cody. Cody Weeks was at 64 points with the option. 64 points. Colby coached by Doug Kallenberger, a great bronc rider. All right, Colby. Show him where you come from, brother. Cody declined his reride, and he took the score of 64 points. All right, let's go, Colby. Rodeo family out of Browning, Montana. Dad raises some bucking horses. All right, let's go, Colby. Colby getting everything set just right on the legendary horse, Indian Paintbrush, many-time NRA Finals horse. Let's go, Colby. Mark out, mark out. Go to him, Colby. Go to him. Oh. Down a little early. That's all right, Colby. Still proud of you. Cody Weeks with the 64 points is our only ride for tonight. Cody Weeks. We're going to head back on down to the timed event side, and we're going to do a little breakaway roping. McKenna Shower, the Montana State University Northern Cowgirl, coming in the short round with a 3-1. Nice loop, McKenna. Looking good. She's a 3.8. Puts her at 6'9" in the average, 6'9" for McKenna. Up next, we got Jessie Farr, the University of Montana Western Cowgirl, coming to the short round with a 3-1. It's going to be no luck for Jesse, no luck. Up next, we got Casey Rogers, another University of Montana Western Cowgirl, coming in the short round also with a 3-1. Looking good, Casey. Sticking on a good one. She was at 3-8, 3-8 for Casey. Puts her at a 6-9 in the average. A 6-9 for Casey Rogers, the University of Montana Western Cowgirl. Up next, we have Samantha Kearns, who's a 3-0 in the long round, a Montana State University Cowgirl. Good start and a good loop for the Montana State University Cowgirl. She just threw a 3-1. Puts her 6-1 and the average of 6-1 for Samantha Kearns. Up next, we got Kim Williams, sticking with the Montana State University Cowgirl. She comes in the short round with a 2-9. It's going to be some bad luck for the Montana State University Cowgirl in no time. Up next, we have Michaela Witter, the University of Montana Western Cowgirl, coming in the short round with a 2-8. It's going to be in no time for Michaela. Up next, we have Cheyenne Carl, the University of Montana Cowgirl, coming in the short round with another 2.8. A little more bad luck for the breakaway Cowgirls. It's going to be another no time. Up next, we have Riley Anderson, a Montana State University Cowgirl, coming in the short round with a 2.7. Not going to quite make that loop fit for Riley. Up next, we have Brianna Jenkins, the University of Montana Western Cowgirl, coming in the short round with a 2.6. That a girl, Brianna. 3.9 for Brianna, 3.9. Looks all the roping lessons with her boyfriend Tyrone Schofield are paying off. Good run by Brianna.
That horse looked pretty sure-footed. I wonder if he's putting shoes on her, too.
6.5 in the average for the Cowgirl, putting her second. Up next, we have Callie Ottopollock, the Montana State University Northern Cowgirl, coming in the short round with a 2.4. Our top Cowgirl, Callie Ottopollock. Good loop by Callie. It's going to be a 2.4 for Callie, a 2.4. Puts her at 4.8 in the average, a 4.8 in our unofficial leader, Callie Ottopollock, the Montana State University Northern. We're going to stick down at the timed event in and do a little tie-down roping. First up, we got Bode Spring, followed by Levi Delmarter, and then Wesley Parker. Getting it on her mind.
I'm not going to lie, when that bull hit the gate, I nearly ruined my cinch jeans and shirt. Proud sponsor, College Rodeo. Bode Spring getting ready to go in the tie-down rope and coming back with a 15-3. Bode Spring chases him down there, gets a loop on him. We're going to make sure that calf stays tied. Looking like he's going to. That's going to be a 16-6 for Bode Spring, 16-6. Giving him a 31-9 going into the average. Back into the box next, going to be Levi Delmarter. Another Bobcat with a 14-8 from the first round. Levi Delmarter getting ready. Levi Delmarter tracking that calf through the mud hole. Gets it time. Going to be a 15-2 for Levi Delmarter from the Bobcats. 15-2. giving him a 30.2 in the average on 2. Wesley Parker up next, Montana Western. Wesley's got a 13.7 from the first round. Wesley figure eight's the tail. This is when you earn it. Come on, Wesley. Keeping calm under pressure. Wesley Parker gets him tied. It's going to be a 20.6 for Wesley Parker, 20.6. Oh, excuse me, we got a broken barrier down there. Turning that 20.6 into a 30.6. Albert Koenig coming up next. MSU Cowboy with a 13.7 from the first round. Albert getting ready to nod his head. That's looking like an 11.9 for Albert Koenig, 11.9. That's going to give him a 25.6, putting him first in the average. Albert Koenig. Up next, we got Ethan Stenchard from Montana Western. He's got a 12.6 from the first round. That's a guy who never skips leg day. Come on, Ethan. That's going to be a 19 flat for Ethan Stenchard. 19 flat for the Bulldog. Giving him a 31.6 in the average. Jarrett Whitman coming up next. Bobcats got a 12.3 from the first round. That's going to be in no time for Jarrett. No time. Colby Curran coming up next with a 12.3 from the first round. We're going to see what the Bobcat can do here. Colby Curran chases him away, but unfortunately that calf runs through the loop. That's going to be no time for Colby Curran, no time. Lonzo Skunk Cap coming up next. Bulldog with an 11 from the first round, 11 flat. Lonzo Skunk Cap getting ready. Lonzo Skunk Cap with a good hustle. Unfortunately, that calf gets up. That's going to be in no time for Lonzo Skunk Cap, no time for the Bulldog. Jake Nelson coming up next. Bobcat with a 12-3 from the first round. Albert Koenig with a 25.6, still leading the average. As we look to Jake Nelson. Tragan, I know you're not doing anything to help tie that knot, but doing a good job holding it. Jake Nelson coming up. He tries his best to get that calf, but he ropes him a little funny. That's going to be no time for Jake Nelson, no time. Jake Faulkner is going to be our last tie-down roper, coming back with a 10-6 here into the short go. Albert Koenig with a 25-6, still leading the average. Jake Faulkner can't quite get him fished on. That's going to be a no time for Jake, no time for the Bobcat. Putting Albert Koenig with a 25-6 is our unofficial leader in the average. Albert Koenig's leading the calf roping in the average, followed by Levi Delamarter, Bode Spring, Ethan Stenser, and Wesley Parker. But that's about wrapping things up for the timed events. We've got barrels coming up a little later. But right now, focus on the buck and shoots. We've got our first section of bull riding. Austin Herrera going to be our first bull rider, Northwest College Cowboy, getting on Painted Lightning. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. First section of bull riding coming up. We've got a great pen of bulls brought to you by none other than Red Eye Rodeo Company. They bucked last night. They damn sure are gunning tonight. We've got our cowboy protectors in the arena. Sylvan Lacrosse and Caleb Barrett going to help keep our riders safe. Get them back to school Monday morning. Those bullfighters may be out here protecting the bull riders, but hopefully you're protecting yourself with your face mask and by maintaining social distancing. Austin Herrera getting ready to nod his head. Austin Herrera giving it a great effort. Coming up just barely a tick short. That's going to be a no score for Austin Herrera. Don't let him leave here empty-handed. Justin Ketzenberg coming up next. Another Northwest College Cowboy. Getting on a bull named Streaker. Justin getting his rope pulled tight. Nice little bowl. Changes directions a little late. Justin Ketzenberg's going to come off a little early. No score. Another cowboy from Powell, Bo Howell, coming up next. Getting on Big Sky Blues. Are you having fun yet, Lane? Just making sure. It's your day after all. Bo Howell giving it all he's got and then some. Putting on a great ride. Comes off a little early with a little bit of calisthenics just to make sure he's ready for the next one. No score for Bo Howell. Nate Deerhammer is going to be coming up next. The Bobcats getting on Landon. Nate Deerhammer's the cowboy. Landon's Remax is the bull. Nate Deerhammer. Not where you want to come off. Sylvan Lacrosse getting in there, making a good save. That's going to be a no score for Nate Deerhammer. Logan Peterson's our next bull rider. Dawson College cowboy. Getting on a bull by the name of Butt Ugly. Logan Peterson making sure he's all set before he nods his head on Butt Ugly. Logan Peterson. Oh. Oh. Butt Ugly earning his name right. Logan Peterson comes off a little early. Big shout out to our bullfighters. Kayla Barrett and Sylvan Lacrosse coming there with the save, and our pickup man. Making sure we keep our Cowboys safe and our arena clear. Carson Hauser, excuse me. Carson Hauser's the next cowboy from Miles City. He's getting on Trash Man. Sylvan Lacrosse getting in there just in the nick of time, helping Carson Hauser get away safely. Comes off a little early. That's going to be no score for the Cowboy, but a hell of a try. We're going to move on down to the Sterling Rogers. Powell Cowboys getting on Montana Jacket. Sterling Rogers getting ready to nod his head. Sterling Rogers. Looks out a little early. Sterling Rogers is going to get a no score for that one. Bucky McAlpine is going to be coming up next. Bobcat's going to be getting on Toothache. Bucky McAlpine. Bucky McAlpine puts in a great effort, comes off a little early. That's going to be a no score for the Cowboy. That's going to wrap up our first section of bull riding. But we're going to be right back. We're going to run some barrels here, then come back for our second section of bull riding, finish off the short go for this second day Western College Rodeo. Timers are set. Taylor Moykins, first barrel racer, MSU Cowgirl. That's going to be a 17:47 for Taylor Moykins, 17:47. Kale Hughes coming up next from University of Montana Western. Kaylee's got an 18:21 from the first round. $18.39 for Kaylee Hughes, $18.39 for the Bulldog. That's going to be a 36-6 for Kaylee Hughes on two, 36-6. Shea McDonald coming up next with an 18-13 from the first round. Shea McDonald head for home. That's an 18.39 for Shea McDonald, 18.39. That's a 36.52 for Shea McDonald on two, 36.52. Michelle Williams coming up next. Bobcats got an 18.18 from the first round. Taylor Moykin still leading the average on two with 34.93. Fast run, 17.90 for Michelle Williams. Giving her a 36.08 on two, 36.08 for Michelle Williams. Samantha Kearns coming up next. Bobcats got 18.10 from the first round. 18-12 for Samantha Kearns, 18-12. Giving her a 36-3 on 2, 36-3 for Samantha Kearns. Shelby Rasmussen, Bobcats coming back with an 18-14. Shelby Rasmussen with an 18-03, 18-03 for Shelby. Giving her a 36-17 on 2, 36-17 for Shelby Rasmussen. Cheyenne Carl is going to be our next barrel racer, University of Montana, also with an 18-14 from the first round. $18.04 for Cheyenne Carl, 18.04. That's going to give her a 36.18 for Cheyenne Carl, 36.18. Chantel Brewer, Bobcats got an 18.26 in the first round, going to be our next racer. That's going to be an 18.48 plus 5 for Chantel Brewer, giving her a 23.48, 23.48 for Chantel Brewer. Madison Mcglynn coming up next from University of Montana Western. Bulldogs got an 18.14 from the first round. $18.75 for Madison Mcglynn, 18.75. Giving her a 36.89 on 2, 36.89 for Madison. Sage Core is going to be our last barrel racer before we go to some bull riding. Sage is coming to us from MSU. She's got an 18.19 from the first round. $18.24 for Sage Core, $18.24 for the Bobcat. That's going to give her a 36.43 on 2. Taylor Moykins winning the average with a 34.93. She's going to be our unofficial leader. And we're going to get the arena clear, go back to our second section of bull riding. We've got no qualified rides, so it's anybody's game coming into this second section of bull riding. Riley Berman's going to get it done. Riley Berman. Gets a little behind. The bull makes him pay for it. That's going to be a no score for Riley Berman. No score. Bruin Bradshaw, Powell Cowboys, coming up next. He's going to be getting on Twisted Steel. Bruin Bradshaw getting ready to nod his head. Bruin Bradshaw, not an easy bull to ride. He gives it his best effort. Comes off a little early. No score for Bruin. Chance Studer coming up next. Another Powell Cowboy. Getting on Kale's pet. Things are moving pretty fast for Chance. He comes off a little early. Quade Slater's going to be our next bull rider. Dawson College Cowboy getting on Grew. Quade Slater getting ready. Sylvan Lacrosse getting a little close for comfort. Quade Slater coming off a little early. Going to be a no score for the Cowboy. We've got 2 bull riders left, and it's anybody's game at this point. Chance Schweitzer coming to us from Dawson College. He's getting on Aftermath. Chance Schweitzer. Our bullfighters step in to get him out of there. Chance coming off a little bit early. It's still anybody's game. And when I say anybody, I mean Judd Collins, our last bull rider of the day, of the weekend. He's getting on a bull bedtime story. Judd Collins, last bull rider of the weekend. It was a good save by Caleb Barrett and Sylvan Lacrosse. Unfortunately, Judd Collins comes off just a touch early. It's going to be a no score for the Cowboy. Well, that wraps it up for the bull riding, and that wraps it up for the rodeo. Thank you all for coming, helping us put on this 2020 University of Montana Western College Rodeo. Big shout out to Cody Leahy, head coach, and all of his students for help putting on the rodeo. Red Eye Rodeo Company bringing all our bucking stock and some of the roping stock too. Our wonderful sponsors, we couldn't do it without you. The Big Sky region, we proudly represent you, and we're going to see you all down the road.